Morning all, welcome to today's session. My name is Akshay and I'll be serving as the TA for the day. I am a PhD candidate at the University of Houston and my research mainly involves developing interpretable and explainable models in the context of developing better and robust brain-machine interfaces which you can control with non-invasive brain imaging modalities, for example, EEG. Now, going forward, straight into the topic, we are going to be covering multiple linear regression and polynomial regression. You've already watched the videos. Now we will be going straight into the actual implementation of it. Before doing that, let's make sure that everyone is on the same page because this is very important that everyone understands why we are doing this. Before you implement any model, the why for this is very, very critical, right? Now, in the context of the retinal ganglion cells that we are modeling right now, we are saying or trying to see how this particular cell, which is very sensitive to the light, how the different properties of the light changes the spiking activity of the cells. Now, take for example, you have a stimuli, visual stimuli, which you can change the contrast of it, right? Now, this is your independent variable. Your contrast is your independent variable. And the spiking activity in your cell here would be your dependent variable. We're trying to see how the contrast change would change the spiking activity in the spiking activity in your particular cell. Now, to model this relationship, we can use a univariate linear regression model because there's only one variable, which is your contrast. Now, biological systems are not so simple that the cells will only respond to one particular stimuli or stimuli property. There could be multiple properties. For example, what if not just the contrast, you also change the orientation of it, right? Now it comes, now this is where the multiple linear regression comes into being. When multiple independent variables, in this case, the contrast and the orientation changes, how are these individual properties changing the spiking activity of your dependent variable, your cell activity? Now that is where multiple linear regression comes into play. A polynomial regression we'll explain as we go forward. Now let's try to implement this, right? As before, we'll load all the required libraries. And this is your basic equation without the intercept of your univariate model, where only there is one parameter. Now, multiple linear regression is very similar. It's if you just look at the first few terms, it's basically your univariate linear regression. The only difference being that with multiple linear regression, you have more number of these terms. Now, as before, you can express this as your in the matrix form as shown here. We define our design matrix where each column corresponds to the individual features or individual types of features that we'll be feeding in, and the individual rows corresponds to each examples. Now, we have a column of 1 to represent the bias in the model. Now, let's start by simulating some of the data here. We start here, and this is, for simplicity, we are just keeping two-dimensional data for visualization purpose, right? We already learned how to derive the multiple linear regression before. This is the matrix representation. We estimate the mean square error, which is the mean square difference between your predicted and the actual value, and you compute the derivative of that with respect to each of the parameter that you want to estimate. Now, when you do that in matrix form, you get an expression like this. Now, this is what you are trying to implement first using the ordinary least square estimate, right? So the only thing that you need to change here is go to this particular line which says red theta hat, and you just need to implement this particular line. Now, what we have to do, there is an inverse of x transpose of x. For that, we do lean alg. If you do tab, it auto completes dot in, and then we do x dot t, which corresponds to the transpose. And we do at, make sure this is at and not a star, because star is element wise operation, at is matrix multiplication, right? And that's what we want. X dot t, and you matrix multiply by x, and then you again matrix multiply by x dot t, and you multiply by y. This is what you want to implement. Now let's uncomment this section and try to see if this runs fine. And ideally, you want your values to be the same. That is what's expected. Now, because we simulated, we know the ground truth. It is 0, -2, and -3. It is very close, but there is some difference between that, right? So to see the difference, we can compute the mean squared error. This is the total mean squared error between your predicted value and the actual values. Now let's just try to visualize the data what we have, right?